So I can now share the. Sorry, what I had there was a video, so I couldn't continue with my slideshow. Okay. So please confirm if you can see this particular screen. The previous one was my recordings. Okay. So by big
Yes, we
data,
can
we
see
talk
him.
about our things. We talk about large data sets that require what? The use of technological tools.
I see it
So
too.
Thanks. By technological tools, we mean maybe applications for specific um, operations on the data. It could be for collection of the data, it could be for storage of the data, it could be for carrying out analytics on the data. So each of these areas of data analysis or data analytics have tools that were created specifically for it. Now we say that for a data set to be called big, we're talking about big data. For data sets to be called big, you're not talking about 1 gigabyte of data or a two, three, four, up to 10. For those ones, you can use traditional tools like Microsoft Access. You can use, um, you have Access, you have Excel, you have SPSS, those regular ones. Even regular MySQL can do some of those. But when we talk about big data, we are now talking beyond 1 gigabyte to 10 gig of data. We're looking from 10 to up to like 1 terabyte and above. You understand? So that's what we mean by big data. We are not saying maybe you collected the one I asked you to do. That was just a test assignment. Ask a question. What's the impact of social media on students' academic performance? And then you're giving students data to answer questions to answer. Then from those questions, you can now carry out your analysis and find out the impact. Those ones, the kind of data you get will not be more than maybe 1,000. So you're talking about maybe 1 gig, 10,000, and so on. So we're looking at beyond 10 gigabytes of data, where you can now bring in other technological tools to help you carry out such analysis. So below 10 gigabytes, we say you can use what? Microsoft Access. You can use which other one? You can use Excel. You can use SPSS and so on. So now for technological tools to come in your big data, we are looking at three V's. There are more than three V's that I'll discuss here, but let's look at the major ones, the major three V's of big data. One is what? Volume of the data. By volume, we talk about like we just talked about the data set, the number of data you have in that set. So we have variety. Variety, we'll still discuss each of them. By variety of data, we'll say what is the type of data? Is it structured data or unstructured data? So by structured data, we are looking at data that has variable headings, and let's say I'm collecting information from people that watch a particular video or whatever, or that streamed it. I'm sure you've seen that streaming, 1 million streams, 10,000 streams, and all that. When a video is streamed by 10,000 people, let's say the structured data now could be the IP address of the person that streamed it and such information. Those ones now will have heading. That means it is tabulated data. It has variables at the top, and those variables have information under them. So we have structured data. By unstructured data now, we're talking about, say, your email or the email feed or the email that has been downloaded by a company over the past, in the past 3, 4, 5 years. We are talking about the number of streams of a particular video. We're talking about feedback from customers. We're talking about stock. information. I don't know if you watch this the flow of stock trades, stock exchange or whatever. You see how data streams in, like the speed and all that. So when you now talk about this speed with which it streams in, you're talking about the velocity. When you're talking about the variety, you're talking about the types of data that are coming in, whether it's structured, tabulated, or it's just the streams themselves. When you talk about the volume, you're talking about the quantity of data that is coming in. I don't know, is it clear at this point before I go on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that this data capturing, we have survey. These ones don't give you big data, just like people within your immediate environment, people you can reach through maybe their social media handles, their emails. You post your survey questions to them and they answer you. So basically, you don't get more than 10 gig of the feedback from this kind of um, capturing. You have questionnaires, you have satellite information. Now, by satellite information, you know what I mean? Satellite monitoring, sorry, please. Satellite of a particular place, gathering information, collecting pictures, collecting feeds. I don't know, that kind of stream is still voluminous. So, but of course, this one can come in terabytes of data. Social media feedback of feeds. You have feeds from Facebook, from Twitter, and then a lot of information coming in from these sources. I'm telling you, this is another source of big data. Then video streaming, we already mentioned video streaming. Okay. So I already talked about Excel, Access, SQL data being what? That the ones that fall between 1 gigabyte to 10 gig, these traditional methods can be used comfortably. But for big data, where you have from 10 gigabytes up to 1 terabyte and above, you now have Hadoop there, and you have what? The Hadoop and Hive are the tools for volume capture management. We're talking about big data, which is between 1 gig to 10 gig. For the volume, the tools are what? Access, Excel, and SPSS is also there. But above 10 gig up to 1 terabyte, you have Hadoop, you have Hive. Then velocity is just the speed, like I mentioned, of collection. It could be real-time data, it could be non-real-time data. If it's real-time data, let's say data from my CCTV camera in the office, records, once I set it to collect everything, that's one setting the CCTV can have. Another setting it can have is you tell it to collect 20 seconds in every 1 minute, 30 seconds in every 1 minute. So in that case, in every 1 minute, it collects just maybe the first 20 seconds and then it waits and after 1 minute again, collects 20 seconds of data. But if you want it to collect everything, you can imagine the amount of data you can collect in 1 hour, not to talk of the whole day around the clock. So these ones now, speed of collection, volume that is they're all related. So we are now looking at velocity, the speed with which you collect data, depending on how you set. So now coming to this for real-time data collection, we have Apache Kafka, Amazon Kinesis, Apache Storm, and then Flink. Flink is also an Apache project. So this is the last part. Now we'll talk about variety. I mentioned that variety is what the type of data. Structured data has to be like tabulated data. They have variables, they have headings, they are structured. So, but semi-structured, you talk about the JSON, that if you do N8, N8N, you see what JSON data is all about. Because most of the things you'll be collecting there are JSON data. Then I'll have unstructured, you have images, videos from the sources we've mentioned, IoT. When I say IoT, Internet of Things, think of the cameras that store maybe their feeds in the cloud and so on. So videos, media, social media content, we already mentioned this. So, and for this, we have the SQL and the no SQL. By no SQL, mean no SQL, no, then means not only SQL. Now, the SQL is used for the relational databases, while the NoSQL is used for what? The unstructured kind of data. The example of SQL data, we have MySQL, Oracle, SQLite. SQLite is actually a serverless kind of um, database system. Does not need server, unlike the MySQL that needs a server to power it, and Oracle also. But the SQLite does a serverless, call it serverless SQL, a serverless database. You can actually run it from a folder in your system by installing the app in your system also. So, but the NoSQL will have the Mongo database and the Cassandra. These are the types of database that you can use for unstructured data, emails, social media content, videos, and different feeds from customers and so on, and use NoSQL. The veracity of data. There I said I didn't the other two V's. There are generally five V's, but I'll be concentrating on three, which is volume, velocity, and variety. Now, veracity and value are also important. Veracity is trustworthiness, accuracy, data integrity of your data, the consistency of your data. This is where data cleaning. Once you've collected data, the first thing you do is to clean the data to remove noise, to remove missing values, inconsistencies. And then at that point, once you're done cleaning, the integrity of the data is kind of higher than it was before you started, from the time you collected data. You know. So, and the last one is the value. Now, value has to do with insights you are able to extract from the data you collected. What what value, what is the gain of you even going into collecting data in the first place? Let's say I collected data from students on impact of social media and so on, like I said before. Then if from what they've given me, the information they've given, if I'm able to um, gain insight and better the system in such that maybe there'll be policies that prevent students from maybe browsing too time, like multitasking with their phones when in class. You've added value through your data collection. If from feeds, from videos, I'm able to improve a particular system because of the videos I collected, I've added value. Do you understand? So the essence of collecting data in the first place is to add value to a particular system or to solve a specific problem. Okay, forecasting, optimization, and improving the return on investment and so on, operational efficiency. All these are the values that you can get back from carrying out analytics on your data. So for our work, permit me to stop sharing right here because now I'm working with 40 minutes. So for our work, we'll be using machine learning and we'll download some of these apps and install them. So, but for the first step I want you to carry out before my next class with you, uh, this one more. Okay, this here. Okay. Okay, this is it. Now I want you to install Python if you don't already have it in your system. And after installing Python, you will pip install Anaconda. Okay, maybe we just use Jupyter Notebook for this. Or better still, use Anaconda. Don't worry, let's use Anaconda for the work. Use Anaconda. So you can go online, download Anaconda. Anaconda contains, after installation of Python, Anaconda contains the Jupyter Notebook we'll be using for the work and some other libraries that are involved in Anaconda already. So it's heavy, but I think we need it. So if we're going to achieve anything in this course, because there's no use going through theories and no practical experience in a particular course, especially this type we're having. So I expect you all to, before my next class, take Wednesday or so, I don't know, or on weekends. I think I prefer these virtual classes that we are having this. So before my next class, download and install Anaconda in your system so that you do some practical. Thank you. If you have any questions, please ask. Jupyter Notebook is lightweight and it's still inside Anaconda. So, yeah, if your Anaconda is heavy, too heavy, you can install Jupyter Notebook. So to install Jupyter Notebook, just after your installation of Python, you pip install notebook. You pip install notebook. My, I will send this thing to you so that you can go through it and then be able to install all the. I'll send it to you. This is my Jupyter notebook, and then we'll be working from all. I'll send you the. But I prefer you install Anaconda. If you try that first, if it doesn't work for you, then you can just follow this and install the Jupyter notebook.
Anaconda 3.
So, any question? This is like an introductory. The first one I asked you to do was like trying to collect survey questions to show you the lightweight data. So that those ones fall between 1 gigabyte to 10. So, but we are now going into the main thing. You can collect, like I mentioned, the types of data we can collect and the sources. I said IoT, we can collect CCTV data. Also, we can collect network data also using Wireshark. It's also under big data collection. So if I put on my Wireshark now, it will be able to collect packets from all the Wi-Fi in my vicinity, collect the packets from everybody, then we can also analyze that using machine learning. So that's part of big data. So you also should install Wireshark, work from networks also. So if you have any questions, let me know. Any question, please? No question. Then put on your videos for attendance. That's
No
our
question.
tradition. Okay, then turn your videos on for the class attendance. We usually take attendance after each class. So tell others if at the end their face no show for our video. That means they never participated in the class and it's for it, whether you like it or not. So put on your videos for attendance. Who amongst you is using laptop to join? Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. If you're using your laptop to join, please take a snapshot. Let me see. If you can't, let me see. Screenshot. Industry. Industry. Okay. So let's use, let me use my sniping tool. I hope everybody is visible. Okay. I got Swanshipu Daniel, Ozonwe, Ekemi Etu, Susie, Love it. Who else is here that I didn't catch? Please write your name in the chat, your name in our chat for attendance.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, please, before. Go ahead.
I mean, that's Jupiter. So getting the so far
I can't really hear you.
is asking me something like this.
Can you
It's
say it
asking me
again?
select items to perform action on. And that
Uh-huh.
Jupyter knows files and running. Then he's asking me for to select
If
items
you
to
want
perform
to,
action
no, no,
on.
no, no, no. If you want to install Jupyter Notebook, you pip install. Have you downloaded? Do you have Pascal Python running in your system already? Do you have Python? Can you hear me? If you have Python,
Anaconda that.
okay, Anaconda, you're trying to download Anaconda better. So, what's the question now?
So I've opened it. He said select files to perform action on.
Have you downloaded it already?
Yes, another literary. I opened this. It led me to a place, file, view, setting, and the help. Then under it, file, then run it. Then it said I should select action. Then there are so many drop downs there, like Conda Meta, Coda Bin, Coda Card, and just
Um,
a lot of them.
I will. Let me see if I can download and send the raw file to you guys. I think it's better. So you will download them. Let me, because for now, I wanted us to use Jupyter, but it won't do the job. Let's use Anaconda. So I'll download it and send the raw file to you.
Okay, okay.
So take care. Good night. Any other question? We'll have just maybe barely 1 minute.
Okay, ma, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, what are the basic things we should note after the downloading of the Anaconda?
If you download Anaconda, one, it's heavy. Two is there are so many applications inside Anaconda. We have um, Conda itself. Conda is for installing applications in Anaconda. So, and then it runs from its command prompt. It has its own command prompt, not unlike the CMD that we use on our own system. But if we're using the lightweight Jupyter notebook, we'll be running from our own CMD. So there isn't much to do for now. Just download Anaconda, download Wireshark for network capturing. Do you understand? Two things. Download Anaconda, download Wireshark. Any other data set that we want to work in, which is a big data set, we'll go to what do you call it? What was this site again? I'll give you the site, you register there. So we might not be getting our own data set. Apart from our network data set that we use from our own, then any other data set that we need to work with, we can get it video streaming or whatever. We can get it from before they do competitions. I don't forget them. Okay, now I'll get the name of the site. It's like a repository, and then you just go there and get any data set you want. So I'm going to be sharing data sets, each person a different data set to work with. Do you understand? So that we are all not working on the same thing. So you discover your own trends in your data set. Each person will work on a different data set and discover their own trends. That's how we're going to work. Yeah. So the first stage is get Anaconda, get Wireshark. So for now, let me get the Anaconda from there. It's not going to be too heavy and questions and distribute. But Wireshark, download it yourself. Download this is lightweight. WIRESHARK, Wireshark. Download that one yourself. It's lightweight.
But I have a
Go ahead.
well,
I
can
didn't go. Go ahead. I didn't get you. Is this from my internet? Hello?
elements? Can you hear me, man?
Yes, yes, very well.
I said I have a Wireshark on my virtual box.
Okay.
That was my Linux.
Okay, you use VM, you use VirtualBox. Which OS is running on your VM?
The VMware as well.
VMware,
Windows.
normal Windows. Okay.
Yeah, man.
It's not a problem. That means you can capture your networks there, your packets there, then download it.
Yes, I use Wireshark to capture my packet.
And that's what I'm saying. But you know, we are talking about big data, and I've given you the volume of data I want. So that means if you put on your Wireshark, you have to leave it for quite some time to capture a good volume. You understand?
Yes, man.
Okay. So we need like beyond above 10 gigabytes to work. All right. So no, any other questions?
Ma, when next are we having your class?
Today is Sunday. I hope I pray the week will not be too busy so that on Wednesday we'll have another class. We can do, since it's evening, we can do twice a week. I hope it's not too much.
Thank you.
So let's try and do Wednesday 8 p.m. And then next week, another one Sunday. The first days are quite busy. So thank you. Good night. I'll share the video. Just it's not much that we did, but it's good that you prepare with the tools so that you don't. All right.
Good night, ma.
Good night, ma. Thank you, ma.